Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you. This is my video on my first selection for the 2013 WWE Hall of Fame class. I think a lot of people out there follow the headlines and know that the big people that are more than likely going to be put in this class is they're going to try their best to put Bruno Sammartino in there, and I think a lot of people think that Mick Foley will be one of the first inductions up there. I've done inductions in the past where I've tried to put people in there like the Big Boss Man, Scott Steiner, or to name a few others. So this is a string of videos that I like to make every year, and I think this is the year I'm going to make a video for none other than Kevin Nash. I think this is the year that should be Kevin Nash's being put in at Madison Square Garden. I think he is a name that could headline the class. Or even add that sort of the middle space there. I think a lot of people are looking at Bruno Sammartino like he should be the headliner because of the long past he had of being the champion for years and years back in the days before any of us ever watched wrestling. I look in the past and I see that the people that they've put in there that have been past legends, people from Japan or people from Mexico, and honestly, I don't think they get any reaction from the crowd, and I'm scared that Bruno Sammartino, even if this is put in Madison Square Garden in the New York, New Jersey Wrestlemania, I don't think anybody's going to care about him. You need people to headline this class that are going to be from this era, that have names that people are going to draw. Kevin Nash broke into wrestling after being a college basketball player in WCW. In WCW, he was one of those wrestlers that were given bad, horrible gimmicks, and just never given a chance. Dusty Rhodes was given the task of Ted Turner, who was the guy running the show down there, had acquired the rights to the Wizard of Oz movie and decided no other than we need to have a wrestler. Kevin Nash's first gimmick was after the name Oz. This gimmick sucked. If you've never seen his entrance to the Clash of Champions, make sure you look that up. He has a freaking monkey take him down to the ring. Basically, he was contacted by Shawn Michaels, as many people have known the story, and slithered his way out of WCW by saying he was going to quit the wrestling business to be given his release and signed with WB or WWF right after that, showing up for the first time, helping Shawn Michaels win the Intercontinental title from Marty Jannetty in a big way. From there, the Diesel gimmick was pretty much just stand in the corner and look pretty bad and help Shawn Michaels out. He went into his first Royal Rumble. I believe he eliminated a whole bunch of guys. I think he even still owns the record for the eliminations in one Rumble, and that was sort of the breakout period of Diesel. He was sort of the guy that was supposed to be the guy behind Shawn Michaels, making Shawn Michaels look better than he was, but he was elevated throughout the card faster than anybody else, became the champion, almost held the title for a whole year. Now, this is the first thing that people like to knock on Kevin Nash, is that he was the guy that held the title in the worst time WWF has ever had, the worst money-making champion of all time. Alright, here's the deal. Alright, they went through the golden era of wrestling, and you had guys like Macho Man Randy Savage, you had Hulk Hogan, later on you had Ric Flair, guys come in and be the main event guys of this company. Well, WCW had stolen all of this talent and taken them away. What did you think WWF was going to go through? I mean, they were going through the ends of the steroids thing, where they got hit pretty hard, and parents weren't letting their kids watch wrestling as much because it was not looked at as steroid abusers and crap like that. Let's say, I don't know, let's not use Ted Turner because I don't think he'll get back in the wrestling business. But let's say a guy with a whole bunch of money. Let's say Steve Jobs. Well, he's dead. Fuck me. Well, some moron buys TNA. And he says that, you know what, money is no object. He goes out and he buys let's say he takes every guy who's pretty much held the championship for WWE right now. He takes CM Punk. He takes John Cena. He makes sure The Rock can't show up again. He takes Rey Mysterio. He takes Sheamus. Let's say anybody who's ever held, been in that main event slot leaves and goes to the other show, TNA. And you can keep all the guys who've never held the titles, like, this is hard. Wade Barrett, I'll give you Dolph Ziggler because he only held it for a hot minute. Kofi Kingston. It doesn't matter. You guys think you love WWE so much, but if all that top talent left and they went to TNA, and people say like, oh, at least these guys are going to get their one chance to, to finally break into the main event. Guys like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Diesel, they only got this one shot because all those guys left. They were trying out, putting the new guys on top, trying to rebuild their company. And anybody who would have gotten that spot is going to look bad. Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, the guys that when Hogan was there was, working the mid-card, got put up to the top. And when people first saw them at the top, they thought it was a joke because they'd never seen little guys hold that spot before. You can't knock Kevin Nash for carrying a company that, basically had its legs cut up from under and was building itself back up. Anybody who's in that spot is going to take it. Long story short, he worked there for a long time. Him and his buddies, the Clique, they ran ramshot over the whole place, basically took the whole company under its wings, knew that basically Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash, Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, X-Pac, no matter who you put them with, they were going to have the best match on the show, and they weren't, going to let Vince run a shitty show. And a lot of people knock them for that, but it was the truth. That was the best workers they had at the time, and they deserved to be at the top because they were the best they had. They leave there, none other than jump-starting WCW from the second he got there with the NWO. Pretty lucky that he got the gimmick, but he still had the gimmick of the NWO. You got to point the finger at somebody, and it was him. Jump-starting a company, winning the Monday Night Wars. There's so many things that Kevin Nash is done that you can't knock him. People like to take away his NWO stuff because he gets promoted to the point where Eric Bischoff puts him in the slot as Booker, and the company falls apart. The whole thing with WCW is they were handing around basically creative control to just about anybody who wanted it, and no matter who the booker is, it's gonna fail because you have to go and you have to explain to guys, no matter how good the storyline is, that you're gonna lose to this guy and that guy, and then that guy's like, I don't want to lose to this guy and that guy. The inmates were running the asylum. That's why basically when they tried to take away his job, he didn't put up a fight. Kevin Nash, honestly, if he never wrestles another WWE or TNA match ever again, the match that he had with Triple H last year at TLC is one of my favorite matches that he's ever had. It tells a great story. I still don't understand the whole storyline that goes along with it. I think that somebody got in there and stirred the pot with the creative last year with the whole Nash showing up at SummerSlam, costing CM Punk the title, and then them starting that whole thing, and then that match never even happening between Kevin Nash and CM Punk, which honestly, I don't think it would have been that match, that good of a match. But the match that him and Hunter had, being friends, sort of knowing where each other is going to be at each time, that was some good shit. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I think Kevin Nash is the guy that should be put in this year rather than any other year. Won this first title there at Madison Square Garden, beating good old Bob Backlund in 6, 7, 8 seconds, whatever it was. But I don't know. I just keep going back thinking about the whole, people knocking him because, he held the title at the wrong time. Even if he had it for 365 days, it's sort of like, they had Bret Hart, they had Shawn Michaels. Even if those guys, people look at them like they're legends now, but they weren't looked at that way when they were in that spot. And even if they would have left and they would have went to WCW, look at what happened with Bret Hart. Bret Hart finally got his chance to go over in 1997. He makes his debut, and basically because of all the politics in WCW, he finds out why he didn't go there in the first place is because he got held down by all the same guys that were holding him down in WWF. No matter how good of a wrestler you are, you got Hulk Hogan there, you got Macho Man. I don't know who else was, but Ric Flair was pulling politics there. You're going to get held down. And the only reason why Bret Hart probably got to the spot he was in where he was holding the championship is because of injuries to all those guys knocking him off, and then they finally put him in that top spot. And both times that he was there, if I can remember right, he didn't hold those spots that long. One was because of injury, and another time I don't know why he lost the title the other time. I can't ever think of Bret Hart losing a title match in WCW, but I'm not 100% sure that the match video is not about Bret Hart. It's about Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash, boom. I put you in Hall of Fame today if I could. Peace out.